was done, but was still loading. So bear with
Yeah.
me while I do that part. Setting up your meeting. Doing pretty good. Overall, still today, this week has just been a tech week problem. And when it's your live money, it's different. It doesn't cost you every account. Like, but when it's funded stuff and one little glitch happens, that's typically when I go all just it's very hard to recover from that. It's very hard to undo that. So fortunately I was able to yesterday. A lot of glitchy stuff happening this week with tech on all ends. Go figure, tech is on a tear economically, but on my stuff it's not tearing so well except for down. But anyways, let's take a look. 3 minutes, pre-market high, pre-market low, yesterday's high. So we're still sitting above yesterday's high, telling us we have an upward trajectory. We just took liquidity. We took, what is that, London, midnight liquidity. We took all of that, right? It's done. Hopefully that's all we need and we don't have to come up and take this too. Because if we're breaking above this pre-market high, I would be targeting this on the day or the remainder of the week, period, across the board. This minimal kind of trend line to the upside, nice little news candle or tweet candle, fake news, who even knows at this point? We are tearing down with it's just with a fierce force right now. So either way, here we go. We closed here. This is pre-market low. So we really bounced off of that close. We really haven't gotten below it. If and when we get below pre-market low and yesterday's close, I'm looking to sell. This is going to be a big ask. But again, I'll say again, I think we still have, 3 to 5% of a retracement that's kind of overdue. And I know that's unfair to say, but I'm looking for that on the big picture. It doesn't mean I'm going to go try to short every single day in thinking it's going to happen. We need the setup to happen. So asking for us to break and close below this wick is going to be kind of a big ask in my opinion. But as long as we're closing below here, I'm willing to scalp all the way down. We ended up hitting that target beautifully. It just took all day. So great on like if we extend this out without manipulating it, this was where we wanted price to go. It just took a long time to get there. So we got our win on the day. I forget if I entered once or a couple of times on that trade. But either way, beautiful trade. Now this is where we're sitting again. So there's not a lot of an imbalance here that we needed to come grab, but I'm really excited to see what this does. Gold, on the other hand, nice bearish engulfing momentum candle. We've come down perfectly into this beautiful imbalance and we've wicked off. If we close above this 8 a.m. candle, I would be looking for potential retracement buys. Otherwise, I'm only looking for sells, right? So I really need to close above this. What is that price point? That price point is 3333. Oh, what a good number. 3333.9. I mean, that's a wildly good number. So here we are. It is opening bell right now. Let's go to NQ. Let's go to the 2-minute time frame. And here's where we're sitting. So I'm going to turn our indicators back on. I'm hoping we get a pump to the upside for opening bell. This way, maybe we can sell down. But here's our 2-minute time frame. We're sitting below the 20 moving average. We're rejecting off of the VWAP. It's going to change rapidly. We're currently below the point of control on the day. That's going to change rapidly with all this New York volume coming in. It's going to be really quick to change. There's that pump to the upside. Minute left on that candle. Definitely a decent little range today. Gold is trying to push up. And NQ. I'm going to enter pretty quickly. So when price breaks above or below this green and or red line, I'm going to be looking for my entry fairly quickly. So much quicker than it's going to take me to come and drop down this in there. So I'll verbally say so because they're trying to follow suit, but it's going to be up to you to make sure you're on top of it. And of course, you're going to manage quickly. There's a lot of volume, there's a lot of tweets and tweaks to the market and tech stuff, just a lot of pushing in both directions. So please be willing. If we're selling here, we're probably going to get tapped in or out around this area. So it's going to be a really quick protect and lock thing. And we've got 10 seconds left on this candle. So we're wicking back up now as we speak. If we're buying, of course, we have a little bit more room to be targeting, but here we're probably going to get a reaction. Yesterday's closing price, pre-market low, okay? So if we're selling, we need to be very, very quick on that trigger. If we're buying, we've got a couple of imbalances to the upside, taking out pre-market high potentially. Let's see what we can't get. We're also sitting above that VWAP. There's that strong move to the downside. Selling that. Kind of a big range, guys. Looking for, I would like to lock this, but it's just such a big range. I don't care if I get knocked out, but I want to make sure I'm protected. That's where we're sitting right. Ah, come on, I can't do 50 things at once. Knocked out once. I just wanted to lock it while I still could because I don't want it to come and reject off of that level. Let's see, we can't get out of this. If we're still moving to the downside, I'd be looking to come take all the way down into here. So beautiful potential trade there. But we are kind of respecting that multi-time frame, kind of bigger. There's a lot of support there. So hopefully we can break through that with some oomph. Gotta make this window bigger so I can actually see it. So you should be up quite a bit. Hit, that's 50% of the range and the pre-market low that we just took. So be very careful for that retracement. We don't want to get just wicked around. Going back up.
US 30 went the opposite direction, of course.
Did it really? It went up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Straight line up.
What is ES doing?
Good question. I think they were running parallel, but let me check. Yeah, it went down, but not as much velocity as Nasdaq.
So here we go. We hit one target. We're back into that range right now. And ES, what's the deal here? ES is going nowhere fast. Wall Street opens marginally higher as markets weigh data. Wonder what the outlier was on YM. We're really respecting that. 23063. come break that yesterday's close, maybe. But the divergence between the pairs, that's ES is sitting flat, NQ is kind of rejecting off the bottoms, and YM is pushing up aggressively. Strong wicks of rejection. A lot of strong wicks. NYM is pushing the other way pretty aggressively too. NQ. 1 second left. That's closing with that big old wick. So we hit one target with just 50% of that target and that low. Kind of as anticipated, but I'd like to kind of see a sweep. If we are going to continue back up, I really want to see the sweep to the downside just a little bit more. I'm wondering if a head and shoulders forms down on that 2-minute chart. Is that for NQ or is that for gold? So gold kind of has been choppy. ES came to the range and is pushing back down. YM is just going all over. Marginally higher as they weigh the data. So we got our break, we got our retest, but all we did was tap that pre-market low. We didn't even come into yesterday's close. Yesterday's close, if you're still in this and still want to get a little bit more out of it, so 0.63, gonna be definitely, you're gonna want to lock, scale, trail, protect. I already exited once. Let's see if it's gonna give it to us. Let's see. Head and shoulders. I don't know which pair or which instrument you're thinking of, Robert, for head and shoulders. NQ gold kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders, maybe. Maybe. It does not want to get below that pre-market low. It tapped it once. Let's see what we can, just patience. Not fun, granted, but patience is required. And there we go, pushing right back up. Coming right back into that range. What is ES doing? ES broke out. YM is up. Is gold gonna go down or up? I think NQ is gonna try to buy now. And we're breaking above. Kind of beautifully too. We're at the 50% mark of that opening range. Now we wait. I would really want to get a close above kind of that moving. This is a great retest and kind of bounce off the VWAP, but there's also the point of control right in here. the 50% mark. We've got only 1 second left, and either way, everything else is kind of tearing up anyways. One-hour candle has a nice wick to the downside. To come and take those highs. If you're looking for another trade, we're breaking out. We're breaking above we're above the VWAP. MACD is confirming, and you've got confluence with other instruments. But that's a lot of risk on the day. So you've got one little scalp. We said make sure we protect. Didn't come back down to kind of take that pre-market low. Well, that yesterday's close, I should say. That's gonna look something like taking the pre-market high. I wouldn't give it much more than that in terms of room. And let's see. But we're pushing back into that zone. So not ready yet. We just wicked up. That's all we did. One-hour view. Disable all indicators. Wow, that was not it. That's what that candle looks like on the 1 hour. So we've got what, 13, 14-ish minutes left for this to come and break out, make a new high. On the 1 hour. Because it would take a lot of oomph to come and close kind of what with kind of the railroad patterns, that's going to take a lot. Yes, are you talking about a head and shoulders on the bigger time frame? I'm probably going to trade gold the lower time frame. We'll see this, but we'll see. And this is all-time highs. Back to the 2 minute to see if we can't. We bounced around. We don't have any clear anything. Two wicks to the upside. Not in love with this buy just yet. So the 2 wicks to the upside, and not in love there. What is ES doing before we go and try to enter? ES pushed beautifully. And Q pushed beautiful. What did I do with this? How do I get that back down? Got it. But if we also look at where price is sitting, in comparison to the different instruments, unlike NQ, this is not nearly as, all-time high level as NQ is. ES is, NQ is. Why am I on a tear? We'll see. Um, Lots of wicks. So if we try to enter, we have to be willing to kind of let it come back all the way into this imbalance. Because we took the low, but there's not much of a low there to take. I don't think there's a lot of liquidity sitting here. But we did take it fair and square, opening bell. But we took the high in pre-market. I think that's kind of inner liquidity. So I don't love that for either one of these swings. Just enough to maybe scalp. Not taking the buy yet. Indicators back on. We broke above fairly, but we've got a wick, and a wick. We want a brand new we have our 15-minute range made. Let's see what we get. 5 minute. This is our 5 minute break. Fair and square. Giving it the whole range is kind of going to be expensive. We'd be targeting highs. That's 50% of the range, targeting there. We technically swung inner liquidity, just I don't think that's enough. Even this is a big enough high because this is a high over multiple days. This is not the low of multiple days. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let this buy. I'm buying. Gold has went nowhere. Let's let this bare minimum come into this area.
Hey, Jenny, I have a quick question.
Yeah, coming out.
Um, if you set the indicator like for like the morning session, if you for example, if you set it to start at 7 and end at 10, I've lost my voice, allergies are killing me. If you're not in a trade when 8 o'clock comes up, do you reset it for 8 o'clock?
So like if you were doing the 7 to 10 window,
Yeah, I'm doing 7 to 10, but like if even if you're taking a trade, as long as it's closed before 8 o'clock, would you reset the indicator to start at 8 o'clock since it's the top of the hour?
I like 7, I like 8. Like so Robert, I think the biggest answer there is how many trades you're looking for on a day. So like and that's we can create 4, 5, 6, 17, 18 sessions, that's fine. But the whole idea is also to kind of trade a little less. Like it's to get your 1, 2 trades on the day and be done. Right? So could I do that? Yes. I mean, I think the better question would be, hey, if 7 a.m. didn't set up, should I reset it for 8? Like, I think that would be a yes. But if I've already got my win on the 7 a.m. hour, why do I want to go in again on the 8 and then again on the 9? Like, if that's your strategy and like you're trying to trade from 7 to 10 and you're not trying to take any PM trades or 2:30 trades or whatever, great. But if not, I feel like that's kind of a bad recipe for, you know,
Right.
just so it depends on how many trades you're trying to get on a day.
The reason I was asking, and this I've seen this happen before, just by observation. I wasn't trading on it. It would start at 7 and say it would open a trade about 7:20 and hit stop loss and just keep going in that direction. If you left it alone, it never comes back to that range. So that's why I was wondering if resetting it the next hour, you've got another opening range to work with. That's why I was wondering if that made sense.
So like if you've already hit a stop loss.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I've already hit a stop loss and my trading plan allows me to take, let's just say 3 or 4 whatever entries, cool, then yes, I would definitely consider that. But if I've already got my win on the day, I likely don't want to do that.
yeah. But this is like the first trade the day loses, and it keeps going in that direction so far that it never comes back into the open range, so you can't do any more trades, you know, based off the 7 o'clock. That's why I was asking.
Okay. Well, yeah, because the 7 o'clock range is done. I mean, sometimes it does come back into that range, but not
Yeah,
all.
yeah. A lot of times it'll stay out of the range, and you won't be able to do any more until the afternoon, really.
Yeah. So you can definitely go look for more entries based off of like whatever you're trying to do there, but I just don't want you to kind of get into the habit of, okay, hey, 7 o'clock I lost, so 8 o'clock I went in. But it also depends on what your risk reward is. I know as of yesterday, because last time we spoke, we talked about, trying to optimize for catching a little bit more, knowing
Yeah.
sometimes you're going to get the, 0.5 to 1 or the 1 to 1. That's part of the basket, and that's okay. But optimizing to where of the 3 or 4 entries you took in a day or whatever, sometimes out of the week, it doesn't have to be very much. Let's just say 10 or 20% on the week. Are you getting, hey, you caught just a good portion of this move versus just this candle, right? Or maybe you hit the 1 to 1 loss, whatever. So with that in mind, I just think a percentage goal on the day could be added as a way to kind of filter for you a little bit. Have a percentage goal that says, hey, I've made this much, I've lost this much, which would be an additional rule to your current trading plan. Because right now you're taking how many trades a day?
Um, Probably five, anywhere from 4 to 6. It just depends. There'll be a couple. A lot of times there'll be a couple in each session.
I know TradeZilla doesn't give a good example of that because it's a little,
Yeah.
yeah, it says like 100 trades. And even when you try to combine them in those settings, it doesn't actually work very well. It does not actually work very well at all. Let's see what we can't. Let's see if this pops anymore. My trailing stop is off on the second position just because I didn't want to get knocked out. Got knocked out on that one. Get ready to close. We close below that candle. Out. Was hoping for a little bit more, but not going for more. So we hit the highs. But but we're kind of only targeting inner liquidity right now. We're not really going for anything huge right now. Turn off these indicators. Robert, I think the most important thing is to limit how many trades a day. And that's really hard because sometimes you get this baby one that's, quote, break even. And it's like, are you counting that? Are you not counting that? And I think that needs to be part of the rules is even this break even trade needs to be part of that equation. And the biggest reason why isn't the fiscal part, isn't the monetary part. The reason why I would want to keep that as part of the equation here is because the mental and emotional capacity, right? We think and some people do. I mean, there are the 1 to 5% of us who can just scalp, 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 scalp and do pretty good. But most of us, we have decision fatigue. You only have so much capacity to make sound, emotionally stable decisions. And that's you, me, and the next guy too. So for that reason, and the purpose of like following your trading plan would be I definitely would want you to maybe have 3 to 5 trades a day on the max. And I know you're already doing pre-market. You're doing my time in the afternoon, right? The 2:30, and then you're doing 8 p.m. So that's 3 separate sessions already with multiple entries in each session, right? which is going to end up being 10, 12. And if you're risking, let's just say $100, which I think you're risking maybe around that because you're doing 2 micros now, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing 2 micros now, you're risking $100. 9 trades is definitely breaking your trading plan. 7 trades. So that's I don't care. Like I like 6 a.m. I don't do 6 a.m. because that's not part of my lifestyle and schedule. But I like 7 a.m. I like 8 a.m. depending on when I go to the gym or when I go on my little nature walk in the morning or kind of what's going on this week with the kids. I'll choose either of those times. Okay, either of those times. I like the 30 time, the half past hour as well. So like think 6:30. I just don't target 8:30 a.m. or 1:30 p.m. because of the news.
Yeah, like this morning
Yeah, there
at
was news.
8:30.
Yep. So I wouldn't include 8:30 in that, but I would do 7 or 7:30 or 8 o'clock. No problem. No problem at all.
Yeah, the
Go.
past couple of days I've been doing 7 and having 9 as my cutoff, but I did open the range up a little bit to go to 10. And the best trade I've had this week so far happened at like 9:17 or something like that.
That one's rough. I love hate those because look at this is the 30 minutes before opening bell. Clean,
Oh,
no see, no
as
drawdown.
far as far as the break even, I've gotten what I'm doing instead of dragging my stop loss to break even, I'm dragging it to like 2 to 3 ticks
In profit.
above or below. That way, if it does hit quote unquote break even, I still make a couple bucks.
There you go. That's actually a good idea. I was on with Amp yesterday trying to figure out because the bigger size I trade, the bigger this whole like correction thing they do is. And then I talked to them, they were very kind, but they were like, no, this is just how MT5 and how they release the data for the spread swaps and fees and all the commissions. But you've got to cover those. And when you're trading a little bit bigger size on live money, like on your prop firms, you don't see it the same as you see it like if you're trading your own live money. I was like, hey, there's like that's a lot in quote correction synchronization fees. Like I don't know what's happening here, but it's kind of a lot. It's a couple $100, $1,000 one day. I was like, what happened? Like what am I paying for here? But that those are the fees and they kind of calculate them all depending on the holiday and whatever else. They send it in a different way. So you protecting a little bit is just going to cover those fees, which I think is required and definitely a good idea. Definitely, definitely. Gold was choppy this morning on the 2 o'clock minute. 5 o'clock, it's pushing up with clarity. You're breaking above. You've got your clean break and close looking to come take this liquidity. So this is not a bad trade. A lot of wicks to the upside, which I'm not a fan of. And I'm not a fan of buying this when also the indices are buying. But I got 2 on NQ. My breakout indicator isn't working on my chart anymore. Do I have to reload it? Can you please elaborate? Is there a purple circle here? Because if there's a purple circle, you need to update it. I don't know if you got it from Futrix. If you got it from Futrix, make sure that you're still active there. If you've got it from us, I haven't went in and removed anything, so you should be good in theory. Oh, I should have held that a little longer. I was impatient though. But I was okay because we were getting below these candles, so I was okay getting out of that. I didn't want to give that much back. That's what we wanted to see. Breaking above highs right now. So definitely not selling on the day. I can help you. Like if you want to share your screen, I can help you. Um, oh man, that was the trade. And I am not in, clearly. That was it. Beautiful. But I'm not in it. And I'm okay with that. Gold is unclear. Again, I'm not a fan of buying in the same direction, although that is kind of how the market has been playing out a lot lately. I just don't typically do that. So is this a confirmed buy? Yes. You've got JGS in agreement with the breakout. Yes. But the wicks and the candle formation, just to come up here and grab this imbalance maybe, but I'm not in love with this move. It's giving more like I'm trying to break to the downside, which it's not obviously, but not yet. But I'm just not in love with how it's looking right now. So I won't go chase a trade there. And we were late. Well, ES had already happened. This is the 5-minute time frame. ES had already happened perfectly clean and is moving beautifully. YM had already happened. We don't trade that very often anyhow, but is now pulling back pretty well. And Q.
I'm wondering if it's it's giving us like maybe a false signal that it wants to go up and buy a little bit, and it might go up a little bit further, and then push down for the sell later on.
Yeah. Everyone's saying Red Monday, and I don't know if I should have an opinion at this point because here's our all-time high. I know Nvidia is up. We didn't even check the heat map today. Nvidia is up. Nothing, none of this, Jonathan, you already know where I stand. Like, where's my sell? I'm not one of those people who just like endlessly buy and then I'm okay with that. That's never been ever how I've made my money. But at the same time, that's also a deficit because I'm not one of those long-term, forever, buy, just find the next buy persons. So for better and worse, I'm sure. Oh, it doesn't want to come through. Let's let those load for a second. It's trying to load. Maybe. Now this whole window's mad.
The other day on the daily for the Nasdaq, not yesterday but the day prior, there was a big buy pressure, and then it came back into that consolidation, so it was a failed breakout, and then they had more pressure, and then it closed with a positive day yesterday, but the buyers are still trying. They're not getting the to continue it up, so it looks like they might be losing some steam, but obviously still in control.
Now buyers are still in control. Look, this, I mean, I don't know where to find it on here, that little regression channel. Which one is it under? But it's still how this rejected so hard. And I know that they're saying that was news or whatever, to me is the wild part. Because that was hard and fast. Like that was like, hey, we're going down. Nope. I mean, huge rejection.
That was off the Powell stuff, right? I think the original. Well, we know how it goes. They use news as a catalyst to basically put the positions. But anyhow, the drop was from potentially Trump getting saying he was going to fire, or rumors of him firing or whatever Powell. Then he came out and he said he wasn't, and then it went up. Whether I know if that has any correlation as far as for the price action, that's sort of what people were basing the news off of.
Yeah, supposedly.
It happened exactly when he started talking, and then the buy up, and then he said that he has no plans as far as for firing him, but it's not off the table. You know how that goes with him.
I know. I'm just, I mean, I guess we can take all-time highs. Why would we not? We're already up here. We're already up here, so I don't see why not, but I'm not in love with but that is where the liquidity is. It's going to be up here or now way down here. So we're still just in this huge amount of consolidation, but the consolidation is still edging up, technically speaking. Technically speaking, we're still edging up. From every view, this takes a long time to load for some reason. There it is. It's just we're still, and now we're back in that kind of buying quadrant of this little regression channel. And I'd like to see us come and then bounce back down, but we'll see, I guess. Delete that. We seem to have lost some steam. We're trying to
They're
get.
not, they're not coming in with a lot of velocity, so that's a little telling. But again, I don't know if they're just getting their positions. I don't see any news on the docket as well. Nothing major. Anyway, we have a few feds that are going to speak. White House briefing. I don't see anything as far as for Trump talking.
We didn't have that yesterday either, though. Look what happened. This stuff is taking forever to load to get to that heat map. We're trying now. Because now we've taken kind of the bigger amount of overnight highs. This little amount of liquidity we took to the downside, I don't think is it. But I mean, nice wick. This is a brand new 1 hour candle. I would love for that candle to come into here. There's not an imbalance. That means we'd have to come all the way down into here and take yesterday's close, take all the way down into the 2300 or 23,050s, this area, if we're going to get the sell. If not, we already know we're targeting that high. And on the line chart, just because I still love the line chart, we're there. So we're currently sitting at that area of interest, which is way over here. We're sitting there now, which is before the peak, and that's kind of how I've always targeted things. I never really targeted the ultimate highs. I know that there's a lot of money and liquidity there, but I wanted to be out just in case, especially with Forex, with all the spreads and slippage and all the stuff that happens there. But we're there. We're already have taken these peaks. I'd like to balance into this area of interest and then tank. But we'll see now.
Well, really quick, I was looking at this morning at 8:30 news. We had continuing jobless claims, then the 4-week average, initial jobless claims, retail sales, and all of them are in green. They were better than predicted.
All of them are in green, huh? The volume's way up there.
Yeah, I'll post in the general chat.
One of the things we're building out is a strategy that kind of uses this. I'm working on more clearly identifying the rules and speaking digital when I think so very, very superhuman. But the delta in control, especially when it's on the opposite side of like a bearish candle versus the amount of orders. I love this data and I think it's really, really useful. And never a standalone. Never a standalone. But kind of cool stuff. Except for I hate the view of it.
Benji put a question in the chat for you.
Is your team working on automating the yes. So we have an order of operations. Automation is the priority. I'll meet again with the developer, but OMG, what do you think? I think where I'm leaning at is the breakout limits entries per day. Okay, so I'm not going to dare say it's the only end all, et cetera, because that's cap. But the benefit of the breakout is it limits entries per day, which, as you know, if you're using JGS, there's technically a bajillion, entries potentially per day, depending on the time frame you're on. So that can get people into trouble, especially if they don't understand risk and they're not risking appropriately and just all the things that go into that. So my priority right now is breakout JGS. I actually like that. There's move coming in. But that's the priority. And then a couple of other strategies for TradingView that hopefully we'll be able to automate from TradingView and NinjaTrader, because NinjaTrader is just a better place to automate. Like it's just the better way to be across the board. We are selling pretty aggressively. We like that. go back to candles. That's not candles. There we go. We took the high by at least enough points. And now here's where we're sitting. So
There's a nice pump going on gold right now. Thankfully, I'm in that trade.
to the upside,
Yeah, yeah, to the buy side.
I just didn't love the valid trade idea, valid signal. Just didn't love the wicks that we were seeing. Was like, eh,
I'm up to 120 bucks right now.
not a bad way to be. Not at all. It just took some time. Sometimes that first initial kind of move on the, opening bell isn't always great. Again, some of my best trades, I know there's more volume during opening bell. So, but some of my highest performing trades are pre-market, New York PM, not like Asian session, but like New York after lunch kind of 2:30 time frame. Came up and filled this little area kind of beautifully.
Yeah, there's so one YouTuber actually that they have a lot of Apex accounts and they only trade the lunch session or the afternoon session.
I like that so much, Jonathan. Because New
Mm.
York it does a lot of choppy things, and it's very expensive to be wrong, and it moves so fast sometimes in both directions. It just looks like this whipsaw. I like that because you've got the direction on the day pretty well, and even if you're not going with the direction, you're taking a reversal or a retracement trade that makes sense, that has enough legs. Because like trying to take a retracement here, this retracement doesn't have enough legs against this move, right? But
Mm.
this does. Like it's just different.
Yeah, you said a lot of the exact same points why they do it. Because one, you have the Asian London and the beginning open of New York to look at, so you have a bigger picture direction. And then, like you said, there's not a you can get into a entry and then with a tighter stop loss, and then more of a clearer direction as well. Because definitely, like in New York, obviously you show what how you manage every day and are telling us you can get wicked out or taken out of your position if you keep the stop too tight. But then if you don't keep it too tight, then it can go against you. You can lose a lot as well. So it's sort of like you have to pick and choose which the lesser of two evils.
I know.
There,
Go ahead, Robert.
I was going to say, there's been a few times, even on 15 minutes, around 9:30, I've seen it actually like get into a trade and within 3 seconds wick so much it stopped you within a few seconds. And you're like, what the heck just happened? But I've seen it move that much, even on 15.
Did I enter? Did that happen? Like what's going on? I think that the alternative, and I can't bring myself to do it. I mean, maybe I should, but the alternative is just to target the smaller move, like to target the 5, 10, 15, 20 points or whatever. Um, because that style, if you're risking again, kind of one-to-one concept, if you're risking the 5, 10, 15, 20 points, whatever, based off of the pair instrument you're trading, cool, on this move, you got your money. You got your money. You got your money. And if you lost your money, you lost your money. But you're done. It's just trying to find a way to trail that or to kind of optimize that to where sometimes you're getting a little better than one-to-one. Sometimes you're getting closer to 1.5 or 2-to-1. That's where the hard part comes in. Is like I don't mind doing the hey, I'm going with the JGS, so I'm in, I'm whatever. I don't mind doing that at all. I think it's awesome, but I also think it's going to take some oomph because I want some amount of balance above that 1-to-1, just some. Like my average right now through the last 6 months, through all the good, the bad, and the ugly, is still like a 1.6, which is not bad. It took a long time to get it up to that level. In all fairness, it wasn't instant. But I want that better average because it also means I can afford to lose less or lose more often. And that's kind of the idea I'm going for. Well, we'll see. It's a work in progress because the other problem is with futures, if I was trading one account, it's different. But if I'm trading a lot of accounts, the going from pair to pair is dangerous because sometimes you have those zombie orders. I'm going to use that Scott word for us, which is incredibly dangerous. Those zombie orders are just a nightmare. And then moving beyond that, you've got just such a vast array of things that can go wrong. And that sucks a lot. Not fun. NQs drop in and gold. We considered it, we discussed it, called it, whatever you want to say, but just didn't take it. Wasn't in love with all these wicks, but we're still respecting that kind of trend line. So not a bad way to be. Not a bad way to be at all. Do we think gold NQ is going to come down now? It's wicking around quite a bit. I probably have to go down now to the, got a nice doji on the 15-minute candles. Here we go. We're dropping now. We got a JGS entry, a strong candle, and a retest. Let's see. If we're selling, we're coming all the way down into here. Beautiful little retest here. But it's hard to sell right here. You're kind of too far away. You almost have to wait for a retest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, especially when you're going against the main trend like that.
Yeah. It's really hard to get short right here. It's hard to get long right here too, because you've got this big candle now and you're like, okay, you've already broken to the downside. It's really hard to kind of decide, nope, I'm all in this.
You know what sometimes messes me up too is that, and I guess you sort of made the point too with sometimes going with like a S&P based off of how it moves, because a lot of times I might miss a retest on going against a trend type of pullback because sometimes Nasdaq decides to just take it all back all in one, and I never get that retest. Where I notice on ES it typically will retest more often than not.
I was trading really successfully ES quite a bit for quite a while. But I think lately I've been more focused on NQ, just also because I can be done. I'm in and out so quick. Not to say it's perfect or it's the end all be all, it's decidedly not, but I can be done on the day, on the minute, whereas with ES it just takes so long sometimes.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. Absolutely, absolutely. Especially in an open or whatnot, or like again when NQ's moving, it's moving. So yeah, if you can get take advantage of that volatility, yeah, you can definitely be in and out.
Yeah, that's the idea. Move, get a pullback, retest that moving average, come all the way into here. That's what this is gonna look like. Where's my short position thing? Granted, I didn't enter here, but I'd be trying to give it at least the amount of this big candle and targeting all the way into here. Potentially here, but that's gonna be a bigger ask. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of a retest.
Hey, Jenny,
Hey there.
I have a question. So right now, like, where would you enter NAS since it's kind of retesting or consolidating? What do you think will enter?
Like if I wanted to try to sell right now?
Yes.
So right now we've got a bullish candle. This is a 1 minute, granted. So let's go to the 2 minute. Let's just clean this up a little bit. So we're all the way on the 2 minute now. We got another bullish candle forming. If we're getting below the body of this previous candle, kind of an aggressive entry. Okay, but we've got a little bit of a retest. I would be looking to potentially enter. If I go down to the 1 minute, let's come over here. We've got a beautiful kind of JGS setup. The slow MACD is still in the bullish territory though, so we need to kind of account for that. So really what we'd want to see is a close below, but we're already what 20 to 50% of the way into this move, so we'd want to be really careful. We got 2 wicks to the downside already. I don't personally think this is a turnaround point. I think bare minimum we have a breaker block, we have a fair value gap in here. So I think we're easy target into down here. But right now, you just really want to get below this little retest formation. The smaller time frame moving averages are closing now as we speak. They're kind of crossing, if you will. So we've got that close. That's a 1 minute close. It's a late entry, but you'd be targeting into here. So your risk to reward would barely be a 1-to-1, mostly because your entry is kind of late, but kind of sometimes part of the territory. Target would be the mid range of that is 104s all the way down to 91. The 91. Hey, I was really close. Pretty close, even if I do say so myself. Now you're moving. We're coming into this opening range, but remember, we've got 6 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. There's a 15-minute imbalance as well, okay? That we'd really want to see. I just hope that the next 15 minutes don't have to push up to to go see what that looks like. So I've got a couple of screens up, so I'm looking at the 15-minute off screen. But what I don't want to see is this next 15-minute candle. Let's zoom in. So I'm hoping we tap into it in this candle, okay? Doesn't look like it because we're already forming a wick, which means the next candle would pull up a little bit before it drops and or drop, and then it kind of stays on this upward trend for the day. Because we've hit 15%, 50% of the 15-minute range already. That's on the 15. And we're still trying. 4 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. We're pulling back up, retesting that. Because if we had to pull all the way back up, the potential target to pull back up is all the way into here. And that's what we're waiting on. And just let it play out. Scalping wise, easy. Because you scalp, you get 20 points, you get 40 points, you get whatever, 40 points, and you just keep doing it over and over again. But you have to be willing to close, though. You have to be willing to close just as quick. That's something I'm still working on. Still desperately working on, mostly because of where I come from. I come from an area where I could effectively trade, and it was just it's a different kind of trading where I trust my trade. Here we go, we're pulling up now. We tapped into that little We barely tapped, like just the beginning. The buyers are strong right now, you guys. Buyers are still very, very aggressive. Because they didn't even let us get into this area. OMG. So I want the equity manager on MT5. I'm so excited to have the equity manager on MT5 and just doing all the things because it changes everything. It means like even for those of you guys using Dragonfly, you can really turn it up, get your X% in a day, and then just be flat on the day. Okay. Just be flat, which is something that I'm hoping people get a little bit more interested in is being flat. And not to say it's the end all be all, like the one account that I'm running, I'm sitting at 7% drawdown. But again, to average, 15 to 40%, okay, a month, hands free and manageable. That's the goal. But there are other uses. You could turn it up and have something like the equity manager taking care of you. Let's see if we don't get any bit of a 2% a day right now. That's wild, Robert. That's 0.01 for every 3,000, right?
No, I haven't set it 2,000.
Okay. And all the other settings are as standard, like because Hub is using my settings. I think he just is doing
He,
0.01. Go ahead.
no, he changed a couple other settings, and I'm using the settings that he sent over when he first started.
I'd have to check with him because I just saw his settings.
Yeah, there's a few. I don't want to like take over your meeting and look, but no, I can send it to you in DM if you want to see it.
Yeah, send it to me. Well, because on the we just did our one-on-one. And yeah, I think I'm reasonably sure I know what settings he's got going on. Reasonably sure, not 100%, but reasonably. We're pushing up. If we close above this, we're no longer looking for that sell. This candle right here. So if we wick above here, that's fine. But so you could even give it to here. But if we're closing above this candle, we've invalidated this kind of move to the downside. And we're now 1 second left. Look how that 15-minute candle looks. Buyers are just killing it. The buyers just keep pulling it back up. This candle would have to invalidate that entire wick to come down and fill that imbalance. And that would be quite the ask. I think the buyers are strong, you guys. Very, very strong. $2 a day. 0.1. What's your biggest drawdown been? On the gold, Robert?
Um, I don't know about percentage. It seems like it's like $1,000 or something. And that was this morning. So a lot
Not
of that's probably cleared because a lot of those are buys.
not bad
Yeah.
at all, you guys. Not bad.
I'm up $223 so far since last night.
Not bad at all. I love it. I am when I wanted people want to see what it's like with 5,000. So what I told Hub was I'm gonna do an account with 5,000. I'll run FX on the week and I'll run crypto on the weekend. And just so people can see the good, the bad, and the ugly, the performance when you're not trading with 20 grand or whatever. Um, That's going to be the next kind of goal. So I actually need to go in there and take a screenshot of all y'all's messages from yesterday because we had some comedian on because I was watching the Neighbor Boys. They were like, "Can you watch us, please? We want to go do this, this, and this." So I grabbed my laptop and babysat for a little while. Um, but I popped into the chat to see it all, and you guys were just so excited. It was so cool to see so many people doing, but you're understanding it and you're using it, and I just think that's awesome. You're doing the dang thing. This is not looking pretty. This is the 15 minutes starting to the upside. And that last candle with that big strong wick is not telling us we're trying to sell. We just don't want to close above this. And I would still be looking for sells, but if we close above this, I'm not looking for sells anymore.
Man, they coming in strong.
They are. They're buying. We're not really up that much on the day. It's
Like
really
slow grind. Slow grind up.
it's 0.4%. It's not technically that much. It just feels when there for a while when we were getting like 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the day, those moves were obviously huge. But now these, because this is the, normal market movement, it feels like such a movement. It feels like such a move. Okay, Robert, maybe I'll run it on a $5,000 or $6,000 live gold account. I'll probably do 0.01 for every 2,500 though. But if that averages me 1.75, I'm running it with a 5K account right now. That's awesome. The Dragonfly? You're doing 0.01 for what? 2,000 starting lot size? Yep, perfect. Yep, there you go. We got our close, our full body. If this had been a wick, that'd be fine. But this is a trade we discussed, not took. But there we go. We're still pushing to the upside. Still pushing. Nothing but buys. We're taking the high now again. We also just broke past a pivot point. We broke past an hourly trend line. Just enough to take it. But we'll see. We'll see if we close on the week positive or negative for Friday. If we don't, I would definitely be looking at the Monday, to say, hey, look, without a doubt.
They stay early. You never know what can happen in the afternoon.
I know. I just for the morning session though, another wick. Just took the high, pulled back, took the high, pulled back. Buyers are stepping in to push it up, but they can't keep it there. And that seems to be the theme lately. And if we go back to the hourly chart, that seems to be the theme across the board. We get some outsized news tweets or what have you. But in general, the theme across the board is buyers push it up, but they're not actually going that far in comparison to how much we were moving. Like we were moving a lot of percent at a time. So we might be pushing it up, it comes back down, pushes it up, comes back down. So we're really in this holding pattern. And here we go again, trying the next 2-minute candle, just pushing up. And still trying.
It's like Russian roulette sometimes with the instrument that you go on for which one is gonna go parabolic without any sort of pullback. One day, the day you choose Nasdaq, then it'll be ES that goes. The day you choose ES, it'll be US 30 or Dow that goes.
That's 1,000. I was focusing mostly on like NQ and gold, and then I just got irritated. I was like, I gotta just do one because I feel like that's the axiom of trading and all the things that we do in life, right? and that's, oh, I had that thought the other day. I think the problem with people who strategy hop is, and they're convinced that trading is a scam, is because on the day that, let's just say breakout strategy was I mean, it was everything. It was like it was Maserati money, like, whoo, it was everything. That's the day you did JGS, right? On the day that it was, the breakout was, that's the day you did breakout. On the day that, hey, Ichimoku was like on fire, like, well, I don't care which strategy you pick. I just feel like people who are strategy hopping are missing the biggest portion of everything that matters because they're on the day that they should have been here, they were here. On the day they should have been here, they were, and there's no way to know that in advance. So pick a strategy, take the blows with the good with the bad, and then withdraw because it's the only way to get there, in my
It's like
opinion.
if you're dating multiple women and they're all crazy, you might as well just stay with one. So at least you know that one crazy one.
Hey, I feel
Dude,
you do realize this is a female-led class, right?
I'm just saying. I did say commit to that one.
Hold on, wait. Oh, fair. Okay, wait. Let me see how many other women.
guys are only allowed to say that to other guys.
I don't know, guys. I'm raising sons. I come from a family of four brothers. I assure you, at this point, I have heard it all. Oh, the things I have heard. I wish I could unhear them, but I cannot. So,
Yeah,
no.
you got one of your sons is he's definitely testing the pulls from what you've been saying.
Uh-huh. Hey,
Girls
wait.
going crazy over him, huh?
He is happily single right now. He's like, they are all crazy. I cannot with these people. He went to a birthday party actually. It was like a Sweet 16. They went to the hall here where we live in the island. There's like this little beautiful, beautiful hall that I went to a few events there. It's very lovely. So the ex-girlfriend begged him to come. He got all dressed to the nines, and I mean, best dressed young man there. And this is they're Hispanic, so like for him to be the best dressed, that's saying something. But I digress. She was mean to him most of the night. And this little girl who she used to date, like he used to date, is she never learned how to like be dating and also have other people around. So she's the girl that's like, hey, we're dating. Don't go talk to your track teacher. Don't look at this person. Don't talk to this person. Like she
Oh
just wants
no.
the oh my God, look at me attention. So needless to say, this birthday party was an eye opener for him because he goes, Mom, she didn't, talk to me. She didn't introduce me to people. She was, when people were taking photos, it was disconnected. And I said, that's what, we tried to talk about 2 years ago when they were, boyfriend, girlfriend. So he's learning. Right now, he is happily single and I'm very happy about it, but we'll see how long this lasts.
I was gonna say, don't walk away from that. Run quickly.
Just
And
healthy.
at least he's learned at a younger age. Some guys are like older and still don't learn it.
Yeah, he's pretty observant from what you're saying.
He still was in, entranced at times with, oh my God, this one's so cute and so much fun. But my prayer for him is that he learns the other side, hey, who is this person when we're, at school or if we're at an event or if we're with our families? Like, are you the best version of yourself when you're hanging out with them? Because it's easy to have fun when it's just you guys and you're holding hands and kissing or whatever and you're young. That's always fun. I don't care where you're at. The hard part is like, who are you when other things are going on, when there's an accident, when there's a problem or around other people, because so many of us show up as a representative and not as ourselves. And I think that's awful too. So he's learning baby steps. I just hope if all of them, that's the one who's gonna make me a grandma. I gotta quit speaking that into existence though, you guys. Seriously, it's not. I believe
You
in.
better stop that.
I know,
I
don't.
say stop that too.
Is that all your terminals like going crazy?
No, not mine. Mine are safe. It's gotta be yours.
It sounded like it's coming from yours because it wasn't loud and clear. That's why I was wondering. You know how they what we call in techie stuff, they bump and reset or whatever. Mine's doing that like crazy right now.
Uh-uh. Yeah, there's been a lot. Even this week has been a lot of spread and swap things with all the FX brokers. I was kind of surprised because I hadn't seen any of those errors pop up in a while, and now they're all back.
Yeah, it's that boing sound when it's like
Boing.
refreshing or whatever. And
That
that usually happens when there's a lot of volume, so something must be going on.
that used to be one of my favorite sounds. I was completely entertained with that. Boing.
Yeah, but when you have 6 terminals up, it gets kind of old.
True, very true. Guys, look at YM. Perfect. And it's given 100% of that back. 100% is given back on YM. 100%. Okay, yeah, guys, but back to the main point. Pick your crazy. NQ is crazy. ES is crazy, and it's a little slow. But pick your crazy and then learn how to take care of it and how to build something good with it. Like that's all you can do because everything else is going to go away. Gold, God almighty. And I was hesitant too. That's why you trust your strategy and you don't overthink it. I just didn't love the wicks. This was the candle that would have been confirmed, but by then we're already too close into this. That's why I wouldn't have wanted it.
Well, since you mentioned gold, I'm at $300 right now. Would you manually close it or keep following the previous candle to see where it goes?
So back to you. My vote
I'm guaranteed
is me.
I'm guaranteed 220.
Okay. So I don't, are you on the 5 minute?
No, I'm still on 15. I'm switching that for the afternoon though. I'm not going to stay on this 15 because a lot of stuff can happen in 15 minutes and a lot of it's not good.
Okay, fair. Well, wait. Here's my hope for you. Number one, pick a time frame, 5 or 15. For example, we talked about trailing with levels. Some days it's perfect, some days it's not. Cool. Maybe consider if you entered on the 15, drop down a time frame. So that in this case, it would be the 5 minute. And then you can trail by level or you can trail by candle. No matter how you look at it,
Oh, enter on
one,
15 and then trail on 2 or 5.
yeah, that's not a bad way to be because then look, on the 15, that's you're giving back way too much. Like, well, I guess
Yeah.
not, but
I mean, it
that's,
could drop half a candle and
yeah,
you've lost $50 already.
335. So that would be the equivalent of kind of putting your stop loss here on the 15. But like here,
Yeah. On that purple candle right there, that's probably where it was stopped out.
well, no, because look, you would have your stop loss here. This candle would close, and since it didn't make a new low, your stop loss stays here. This candle now closes,
Oh
and now,
crap. I've been doing the previous candle high. Shit. Sorry.
no, well, if you're selling, maybe, but if you're buying, that doesn't work. So look, this,
Okay, I've been doing it wrong. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
yeah, that's when you're getting knocked out a lot. Close. This candle does not make a new low, so you can edge it up a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to keep it here. This candle, no change in stop loss. This candle now closes here, so your stop loss is here. This candle now closes here. Your stop loss is here. This candle closes here. Your stop loss is here. This candle is 13 seconds from closing, so your stop loss would literally be really choking price right now. It'd be right here.
So you do it on the body and not the wick.
The full amount of the candle, so it includes the wick.
Okay.
If I find a sell example,
You
there
see
was
how those candles are stacking up too? That lets you know of a trend, so it's easy to trail it when you have price action like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
William said he did the same thing. I was wondering because it confused me. I'm like, well, what if your next bar is already below the previous one?
So
But
let's talk
I was
about,
doing it wrong.
no, it's okay. So there, first off, there's not necessarily a wrong or right way to do it. The idea is that we all come and we kind of find our way of seeing this and doing this. But let's use this imperfect example. It's perfect for this. Let's say you entered in here or here, regardless. Maybe you entered here. You can have your stop loss literally on entry candle or the other side of the range or 50%. That gives you three options for a stop loss, okay? This candle closes, well, we still don't make any new, nothing, 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 nothing. Maybe here you decide, but this still closes bullish, so I really wouldn't be deciding to protect it just yet unless I was just trying to scalp and get out here. But going off the principle of we're trailing with the candle, this candle closes here, technically speaking. So my stop loss would be above it. This candle closes here. My stop loss is above it. This candle closes, my stop loss is above it. This candle closes, my stop loss is above it. This candle closes, it's pretty small. So I already know I'm gonna get wicked out on this baby candle. Plus we've got three little wicks here. So I would have been knocked out right here if I'm trailing by the candles. If I'm trailing with the levels, I hit this level, maybe I'm moving let's say my stop loss is on the other side. I hit 50% of the range. I now have moved my stop loss either to 50% of the range. I hit this, now I've moved my stop loss to here. I've hit this, I moved my stop loss to here, and again, I would have got knocked out here. So either of those two methods in this example, I would have been knocked out between here and here.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to prefer trailing by candle because the other are just set amounts where when you're trailing by candle, you're working with price action.
So it's just the hardest part is these bullish candles, back to this more recent one. When you get a candle in the same direction, so where were we at? This one. You're in, this candle doesn't make any new, you can move it here, okay? If you want to, but since it's closed bearish, you don't have to move it. So I usually have a little bit of a sticky area here depending on what price is doing. Okay, so price just cleared a high. In that case, I'd probably be looking to trail that pretty tight because we just cleared this high, right? I would probably be putting my stop loss here. But there are times these, I don't, oh, I just moved stuff.
And
Hold on.
on those bigger candles, it won't be so much, it won't be on 15, it won't be that big of a deal on the shorter ones. I've been going probably halfway up the bigger candles for stop loss. But if I move to a lower time frame, I'm not gonna have to worry about that.
Well, remember, halfway up is where you're going to wick into. So if you think here, I'm going to use annotate. I'm going to do really bad drawings for a second. But if you think about the definition of a fair value gap, okay, or an imbalance, okay, it's where this candle maybe doesn't have any interaction. So there's no connection. I'll use a different color. So these candles don't have any overlap, right? So using that as your principle, trying to use halfway up a candle, okay, so using halfway up a candle in your
No,
trail,
halfway up the bigger ones, not all of them, just the really big ones.
wow, that's really bad. Don't laugh. But if I'm doing that, the most likelihood is when this candle closes, the likelihood that we're going to pop down and tap into that with a wick and then continue is pretty high, right? That's very likely to happen. So since this is the abnormality, supposedly speaking, right? Supposedly, it's the obnoxious thing. Holy cow, it's still going up, 0.5%, just edging up. But think about it. What's most likely to happen when this bullish candle closes? We're likely to come down, make a wick, retest 50% of this candle or some percent of this candle, and then continue up. So to me, having my stop losses on the other side of the candle, including wick, is still going to be the safer way to go.
Yeah, now that I'm gonna start doing it the correct way, it'll be easier.
See, there you go. Holy gosh, you guys, look at NQ. Well, that's it. No more. And gold's buying. I don't like it when they're going the same direction because to me, from everything I've learned, gold is down 0.6 on the day, NQ is up 0.5. This 5-minute trade is still valid technically. Not that was still in it, but I don't have that kind of patience. And I'm not trading with that low of a lot size or contract size for me to be able to hold this move like that. But it's beautiful though. Boo. There you go. Continues up. Continues. But all right, that's all I got. I did the same thing, Robert. I always thought when the sound it was the data server. It is the data server. That's what I think, Randy. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
Each has built different assets. Good morning, John. How are you? We were speaking very ill about you. No, I'm joking. We were talking about your settings on gold. Because Robert's averaging like 2% a day. 2%. So
Yeah, there were a
Yeah,
few
that's pretty
days
good.
I got over 1,000 one day, and then a couple days later, I got over 900 one day.
that's not bad at all. Not at all. How's your gold doing?
Mine's up good. I mean, they're all up like $8,000 or $9,000. But then I've been stopping them and copying them over to stuff and then restarting them.
Okay, look at you. I'm so excited for you guys. Seriously, that made my day yesterday. It made my day.
So I sent that chat thing. So I contacted TradeSmart and they turned my that VIP account that had leverage of 1 to 400.
Yeah.
into a micro account with the leverage of 1 to 2,000. And I said, okay, do I need to stop everything? And the guy's like, no, it won't hurt it. So they went on and changed the account, and it went from like the regular like thing to having to have the Dot Pro. And
Oh,
it had like 16 trades going, and now they're on the wrong symbol. And I couldn't do anything with them.
okay, so if something like that, so this is one of those broker induced problems, like that's, or we get one, in all fairness, we human action into the broker induced problem, but you get the idea. If stuff like that happens, guys, you have a couple of options. You can close all, that's the decision. You can also manually manage and mitigate, meaning you can set alerts, okay, and then just add to or set that up. Or as soon as the equity manager for MT5 is done, you guys will have that in there too, which will just get you flat, as soon as able. So. Because actually, oh man, oh. So wait,
So, so
wait.
what I ended up doing, because I even went like onto their website and downloaded and went online and tried to close the trades, and it wouldn't. Because I had a couple that were up like $600, so I'll close those out. So at least I've got that, and it wouldn't let me close. So then I messaged and went back on, and then I had to change all the settings in Dragonfly, the list of the assets or whatever you're going to call them. So I had to change that list and the whole thing and then turned it on. And so now it's running and I can cast the stuff up on the chart. So I'm hoping that it has now taken back control and running.
Well, do me a favor. So when let me get out my annotate. Wow. Down here on the open trades, you can organize this from date. Okay. What I want to know is from the time you've switched over, has it picked up any new trades? Because I think, and this is a theory, I don't know, I've never experienced that, but I think if all the open trades, let's say it was Euro USD, okay, dot has now been switched to dot pro, okay. In theory, Dragonfly will pick up the Euro USD's dot pro. The concern is the order numbers. So I don't know if the order numbers are all like the ticket numbers, order numbers are going to have stayed the same now having switched or not. If they switched, I'm assuming Dragonfly cannot see those orders. They don't know they exist because they don't exist to Dragonfly. That is not the same order number. So definitely keep an eye on the best way to tell is going to be to go to your account and see when the most recent trade is and to see if it's, adding to or closing any of these positions. If not, it means Dragonfly cannot see any of those orders.
Okay, because when they switched it and then I logged back in because I was driving. So then when I got to where I was going and I logged back in, like the chart was blank. So I had to reinstall Dragonfly. So it was trying to install the one with the Dot Pro on it, and all of my things didn't have the Dot Pro on it. So I fooled around, and at one point I had all my old trades, and I had 4 trades with Dot Pro on it.
Okay. Well, I want to know that the previous orders are being managed. And the only way I can guarantee that those are being managed is if down here you're getting new entries based off of previous baskets that coincide with that. So maybe wait until, 6 to 8 hours. Let's see what the market gives us today, and then show me some screenshots and I'll tell, or I'll even Zoom with you because I want to make sure it's safe too because I can't confirm that. I have no way of knowing. That's not something I've ever experienced, and I want to be able to the best of my human ability, be able to confirm or deny whether or not Dragonfly is going to pick up those orders.
All right, yeah, I'll stop here in a minute and
All right. There you go. Well, we'll find out together, that's for sure. We'll find out together.
So what is Dragonfly? I'm new here. This is my first day, by the way.
Welcome, welcome. Did you hear all those talks about against us women?
I heard it.
I'm joking. I'm joking. He's on
I don't know what y'all talking about. I didn't hear anything.
I don't recall it either, actually.
men in their memory, I tell you. the convenient memory, I assure you. But okay, just joking. Love to have more women here. This is a completely male-dominated industry, so I love when we get a couple of us women across the board. But Dragonfly is an automated EA that runs on MT5 and MT4. Robert, I got your message. I'll let you know when MT4 is going to come into the chat. But it's something I've been working on for a lot of years. It's my own algorithm that literally took many years. I've ran it on hedge fund money. It does grid system in, so I'm using grid system loosely. It doesn't martingale, it doesn't just grid, it does what we call smart scaling. Um, but it produces a decent amount of gains. And I'm not going to again say it's without risk. It's not. That would be cap. It has risk, but with that risk comes the potential to make, if I kind of gave you this whole financial basket of, let's say you have 5, 10, 20,000, at that point you're pretty much making $5,000 to $10,000 a month hands free within reason to be able to successfully manage and mitigate. So whereas I can't guarantee a flash crash or something extremely, the 1 in 10 years items, the 1 in 5 years items, think the flash crash on NZD a handful of years ago, think Brexit, or I know JPY had some wild stuff when the government was supposedly doing something weird. But some things out of our control. But almost everything else that is like even the tariff stuff or the wild things with the president we have, and I don't know what's happening with NVIDIA, but you get the idea. You can manage, and we have a system in place that will help you know, hey, if this happens, here's what we're going to do. If this happens, here's what you're going to do. And here's how you create this ecosystem of kind of wealth, if you will. So it's something that we've got a handful of people running and using, and all that information is on the website. You can go to www, well, I don't know if there's W, but sixfiguretradingcoach.com. It will get you there, as well as I think 6FTC and I think Jenny A. Baker, because I just talked to my team yesterday. So I think all those websites technically get you there, but we'll see. So to go and check it out. We're building out, I'm doing a webinar about once every couple of weeks to help people really understand the settings and the good, the bad, the ugly, and all the things that go into it, because it's quite in depth. Like it's meant to manage in a way that big money would be happy. So in some ways, retail traders don't understand, well, why would I do this or why would I do this? Because to run this on big money requires this, right? Um, but I digress. We're doing a call every couple of weeks as we finalize and I see what people didn't know they didn't know. We'll have a nice kind of compartmentalized individual sections as per John's request that just goes over, this little section and this little section for all the settings and stuff you need, but it's all given. You should have access to all of that. And yeah, so check it out. Sixfiguretradingcoach.com. There is no www dot. Thank you, Miss Breaka. And on that note, go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't say anything.
Okay, I just heard a little sound. That's all. Okay. On that note, guys, we got a couple of trades on the day. Nothing major. Volume is still just, it's not huge. It feels bigger than it is because it looks bigger than it is. But we caught a couple of good trades on NQ, barely a scalp to the downside, a decent little win to the upside, although I wish I was still in this trade. That would be fantastic. Um, Gold I did not personally take. I looked at it, didn't love the wicks, and was like, saw this area. We bursted through that area. So on the week, we're net positive, which is awesome. Robert, keep trailing that, okay? The idea is that some of those trades you get a little bit more than your average, and that's going to increase that profit factor. It's going to increase a couple of those other settings, and then the losses won't feel so bad. Because remember, even if you're averaging a 1.5 to 1, you technically don't need to have much more than a 50, 60% success rate. Honestly, this is just math. So, anyways, this weekend, we have a very special birthday. So if you guys could all, and this is what I was saying before the call started when I was talking to myself because I was muted. This weekend, we've got a lot of cool birthdays coming up. So please make sure you give some love to Miss Breaka. She is the number one, the person, like we would not be accomplishing all the things you are seeing right now if it was not for her. So please make sure you give her some shout out, some love, some birthday messages, blow her up and let her know she's seen and valued and everything in between. And Brika, I pray that you're off the charts, off the computer, out of the discords, every single thing else. Go live your life, go to the beach and enjoy that beautiful little country that you're in and eat something yummy. Lots of sushi, but good sushi, okay? Like truly good sushi, none of the not so good sushi, okay?
Yeah, from an actual Japanese restaurant. Don't go to a convenience store and get it.
And
You know,
I'm
you said that, Robert, my brain automatically flipped to Spanish. I was about to say, I was going, no, I keep. But thank you so much. Thank you, Jenny, for all that you do. And just, I'm so excited for the group and for everything. And yes, I plan on getting some good sushi from a good place. I found the teenagers who told me where the hip place is. So I'm going to try to be hip and go to the, go there and get some.
But that's a
okay.
lot of calories and sugar falling across the screen right now.
There's calories. Uh-oh. Calories and sugar, huh? No, but go and enjoy yourself. Enjoy your time, guys. Give her lots of love. It is a beautiful thing that we're accomplishing. And sometimes it feels small. It's like, hey, we have 10 or 20 or 50 people or something. But the truth is, like, we have done this for quite a while and we're touching lives. And Miss Brika, a lot of that is in great part because of you. So thank you for all you do. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And that's all I got for you guys this weekend. I'm gonna
What actual date is it? Is it for her birthday?
the
It's
19th.
Saturday. Yeah,
Okay,
this
okay. Well,
Saturday.
happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
The
Happy
19th.
birthday, Barika. Thank you so
Thank,
much for all you do.
thank you. I feel like I'm at my dad's kind of stage of life now where I'm going to start saying I'm 19 again. So, yeah, turning 19 again.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
For the
with
next
that.
30 years, right? 19 again.
Hey, look, I plan on being 27 for at least a decade. Okay.
Nah, I'm 25 from here on out.
Okay. As long as we're all on the same page. Hey, listen, guys, there's this stuff. There's a plug. I have nothing to gain from this, but I've tried a lot of NADs, including the one that's like 3 to 5,000 from, your IV places. I've tried the one from Koala, which is a great brand that sells Senolytica. But the NAD that I'm not kidding, like makes you age in reverse. I definitely think it's worth checking out. Is like this one from Zoo One, ZOOONE. I'm not kidding you. This is awesome. Like you feel better taking this. It's like a little liquid capsule that I'm shaking because I grabbed it from my upstairs to bring it downstairs. I haven't taken it yet. I love this stuff. But supposedly it helps you age in reverse, and I'm not kidding you. I walked into the little coffee shop that my daughter used to work at. I hadn't seen a lot of those people in a while, obviously, because she hadn't been here. And the one girl goes, she didn't even recognize me. Now, granted, I got bangs. That helps. I cut bangs again. But also she goes, "Oh my God, girl, are you aging backwards? Like, what are you doing?" And I haven't had any Botox or none of that stuff. I'm like, just a good skincare routine. And then I'm NAD. So I'm not kidding you. You got to check this stuff out. It's definitely worth it. It's like 30
Can you
bucks.
say that again?
Okay.
You
Everybody's
spell
like,
it?
what is that?
Come
What
on,
is that?
Jenny. You gotta spill the
You
beans.
got some we need some pictures.
Okay, so wait, NAD, I'm gonna put this in the chat. I will find a link. When I say it's better than the more expensive ones I paid for, I mean I'm telling you all the truth. I've paid the first time was 3,000, the next time was 5,000. I was like, this is nothing, and it takes so long, it makes you sick. This is like a little liquid stuff. It has reversatol. NAD is like one of those biohacking sciences that makes you. It's you look it up. Like I don't want to speak
Okay, no,
inaccurately,
that's
but
fine. But what's the ZOO thing you're talking about?
I'm gonna find it. That's the name of the brand. Like this is the best one I've ever taken.
How do you
Include
spell it?
no, I'm not selling it. No.
No, how do you spell it?
Okay, I'm working on it. ZOONE. Zoo one. Okay, I got it. Sponsored link. I'm just grabbing it from the internet.
And while you're doing that, Jenny, I'll just say this. It's so funny because I am the age I am, which I have to actually think about it. So, when you get to that age when people are like, how old are you? I'm like, I just don't know. I stop counting after a certain point. It doesn't matter until the next decade, right? But people here, people here think I'm like about 15 years younger than what I actually am. So I'm like youth renewed like the Eagles. I receive it in Jesus' name. And
Amen.
yeah, so I probably look like a teenager for real if I take that stuff.
Wait, Bricka, you already look young for real.
I know.
You've got that. But guys, listen, this stuff is worth it because it helps your brain, it helps you age in reverse. Dave, what is his name? Dave Asprey swears by NAD and like 100 bajillion other supplements, but none of us are taking 90 pills a day like him, so not interested in that.
Yeah, I can't afford that.
Like, but this is reasonably priced, and I'm not kidding you. Like, it's reasonably priced. I think it works really good. It's better than the Koala brand is like 150 bucks a month, and I didn't love it. This stuff equals to be like 30-ish bucks a month. I bought the 90-day supply, and I was like, oh, okay, I like this. Like the little eyes, the little wrinkles by her eyes, like all of it. I'm not kidding. It's awesome stuff. Just saying.
Okay.
So that's how we're all going to stay 25, ladies.
Here you go.
Thank you, Jenny. Thanks. I'm gonna research it, check it out.
You got to. I try not to be like all salesy. I hate people always like, that's the problem with logging into social media is you're always being sold, but this is worth it. I'm just telling you guys, okay?
Sharing is caring.
There.
Yeah, that's right.
100%. Well, I hope you guys are all billionaires who bought this. I did not continue to buy this, so good for you guys. I am not there. But I got my monies on the day and that's it. So I'm gonna take my butt to Restore, which is another health and wellness thing. And I've got a couple of deliverables for multiple things wide. But guys, we are looking for a red day sometime soon. We're coming up on all-time highs. So not to be the ones calling blood in the streets, but be careful. We just now broke all-time highs. Just broke it again. So be careful. If we're pushing up, we're pushing up by at least one ATR or one ADR. So just so you guys can see what that ADR is. We'd be pushing past all-time highs by at least maybe 200-ish points, okay? As the maximum is I'd be looking to extend beyond that. And then I'd definitely be looking to take some shorts potentially. But keep your eyes out, do all the things. Let's see what happens. And if not, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Happy weekend, happy birthday, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Jenny.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.